Here it is again and again for you and para ti. It's the Bakotunes podcast brought to you by Bakotopia.com. Right now, episode 46 features La Reina, the queen of rock en español, pop en español, español en español, the whole musical kingdom. If you don't know who it is, you're about to become acquainted with the one and only Julieta Venegas. I was lucky enough to have a one-on-one interview for Mas magazine with this accordion slinging rockera before her show at the Wiltern Theater in Los Angeles, California on November 17, 2006, kicking off the latest tour in support of her fantastic CD Limón y Sal. Throughout the interview, you're going to hear Julieta Venegas talk about everything from her musical beginnings in Tijuana, playing with rock en español groundbreakers Tijuana No, her independent spirit, and where she gets her inspiration for songwriting from. You're also going to find out who she'd like to have a dream duet with. Get to know Julieta Venegas right here on the Bakotunes podcast brought to you by Bakotopia.com. Okay, I'm here with Julieta Venegas. It's Friday, November 17, 2006 at the Wiltern Theater. She's headlining the show right now. Los Super Elegantes are up. How is the tour going so far, Julieta?
Oh, it's going great. I mean, these are the first shows we're doing in the States with this new album with Limón y Sal. We've been doing mostly dates in Mexico and Spain. So this is, and we did a few dates in Central America also. So this is actually the first dates we're doing. And I mean, actually this is the first date, in Los Angeles. And then we're going to Fresno tomorrow and then San Francisco.
Well, congratulations on the Best Latin Alternative Latin Grammy that you just
thanks.
won. How does it feel to keep collecting these awards? Because I know you're kind of on a roll right now, I've noticed. I've been winning awards a lot in Latin America and stuff like that. How does that feel?
Well, I mean, it feels good, but I don't think that's that's what it's about, really. I mean, it's great to receive them. I mean, the Grammy is something. It's like a recognition from people from the same industry and the one that I'm working in, and then something like MTV is the public. So they're really, on a personal level, they're great, to get. And at the same time, I think that the important things really happen elsewhere. It's not there. The important things happen when you connect with the public on a show, when you know that people are listening to your album, when somebody comes up to me and says, hey, I heard this song and this is what I thought and this is what happened to me, and it's totally describing what I feel. So I think it's more different. I mean, it's really cool. But the really important things are elsewhere.
The performing and connecting with fans, of course. Where were you born and raised?
I was born in Long Beach, but I was raised in Tijuana.
Really? I didn't know that. I thought it was you were in
born
Tijuana.
And raised in Tijuana. Yeah, well, I am I'm from Tijuana because I never lived anywhere else. The thing is that my parents had the papers for us to be able to be born. I mean, they had the papers to live in the States, but they never actually moved there. They always lived in Tijuana. So since they had the papers, they wanted us to be born in the States, so we had more opportunities in case whatever we wanted to do. So we have both nationalities. But I've been living in Mexico City for a long time now, for like 12 years.
At what age did music become an important part of your life, and when did you become a performer?
Well, since I started playing piano when I was 8, it instantly had a special place for me in my life because I'm from a really chaotic family. We were all like crazy, and we were 4 kids. I mean, now we're 6, but we were 4 kids when I was growing up, and it was like crazy. And to find something that was mine, like my space, music very fast became my territory because I was the one who was into it. I was the one who kept on going to piano lessons, and I was the one who I was the only one who stayed in piano lessons. All my other sisters and my brother just left the classes, and they didn't develop that part. And for me, it just became like my identity in a way. Oh, and then a performer. I was always very shy. I mean, I've always been very shy about. I'm not like somebody who spontaneously will say, oh, I'm gonna play a song and have play over with friends or whatever. I don't do that. I'm really shy about it. But a friend of mine invited me to play in his band when I was in high school. He invited me to play keyboards, and then from then on I started singing also. And I think it was from then that I realized that I enjoyed the creative side of music, not just interpreting classical music, but actually improvising or writing or singing or writing lyrics and writing songs. And that's when that part came out, and that must have been when I was like 16.
How many instruments do you play besides piano and accordion?
I don't really play well anything besides the piano, but I do play guitar, and I try to play accordion, and I try to play guitar, and I just like to play instruments that I can't really control. I love playing bass, but I'm not a good bass player, but I enjoy seeing what comes out in an instrument that I don't know that I don't really know very well. And that's what I like about music. I don't have to know and control an instrument to be able to play it. I can just see what comes out that's how I learned to play the accordion, by actually writing songs in it and playing it. I mean it's very close to the piano anyway, but for me it was like it's always like a game and kind of I'm just curious, you know.
Who are your musical influences?
Well, songwriters especially, Tom Waits, Caetano Veloso, José Alfredo Jiménez, or I like Café Tacuba. I mean, I just like people who find their own identity, and I'm a big fan of songs. You know, I like to listen to a good song and to somebody who can create their own world, you know, with songs.
Are you into Los Tigres del Norte? I've
I
seen
love
you
Los
perform with
Tigres
them.
del Norte. Yeah, I've listened to them since I was a kid. I mean, through my mom, obviously. But I love Los Tigres. Norteño music just kind of gets, you know, it really gets to you, and it also ranchera, and you know, I mean, José Alfredo, I think is just like part of my identity, just like any Mexican.
Are you aware that you've really helped to popularize the accordion outside of Latin and European culture? Do you ever think about that? When you pick up the accordion, everybody goes crazy. And I know that you see it, especially like in the Mexican audiences, Latin America, because, you know, accordion is such a part of their culture and in Europe. But I mean, it's kind of like going beyond that now. You come to play in the States.
Well, it's something that I enjoy, and I mean, I think the accordion has very different, como distintas connotaciones. It has different places where it's coming from. I mean, folk music, but also, I mean, when I started playing it, it wasn't just for norteña music. It was because I loved the way Los Lobos were using it or Tom Waits was using it. I mean, it has so many references, you know. I mean, you can think that about folk music or about norteño music, but you go to Europe and in Italian music and Mediterranean music, it's used a lot. So it's an instrument that kind of can, you know, it reminds you of a lot of different things. To me, it just I just like it that it always makes me feel like I'm touching the earth when I'm playing accordion. It makes you feel like you're using something that's organic, you know. It's so like the air of it and the strength of it, and I really like it.
Did you get involved in the alternative scene? Was that when you talked about you joined a band in high school? Was that Tijuana No? That
was Chantaje. That was before Tijuana No. It was the same people, but it was the band they did before Tijuana No, and it was called Chantaje.
How did you envision yourself developing as a solo artist? Did you have any sort of plans of what you want to do as far as music? Would you want to stay in a band, or did you want to become a solo artist?
I had no idea. I think I wanted to make a band, but I didn't want it to be so collective. I mean, when I was with Chantaje, it was like all of us were kind of letting ideas. It was 6 people who had like their own ideas and who wanted to write their lyrics, and so that for me was too much. I realized that I wanted to do something that was more personal. I mean, lyric-wise, and I wanted to develop more of a sound of my own, you know, and I didn't feel I was doing it in a band.
I've read. Well, you said that you were born in Long Beach. Did you spend a lot of time in the States, or did you spend most of it in Mexico?
Well, both sides. I mean, I spent. Everything, school and everything was in Tijuana. I mean, all the lessons that we took like dancing lessons and piano lessons. Everything was in Tijuana. But we would go to Chula Vista a lot to see my cousins, or to the supermarket. My mom liked going to the supermarket there. We'd go to the movies. I mean, you spend a lot of time there.
Yeah.
You know?
How much does it influence your artistry?
I think a lot, because I also grew up watching American TV. I mean, it was easier to watch American TV than to watch Mexican TV when I was growing up. So that's how I learned English, and that's basically, I mean, you learn from, you know, a lot when you're a kid, especially.
Your last CDC and then your latest CD, Limón y Sal, have some similar themes with love and relationships. Do you pull a lot of the subject matter from personal experiences?
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, I think everything you write has to do with the way you think or the way you feel about things, not necessarily the anecdote of something happened to me and then I wrote this, but yeah, it has a lot to do with the way that I think. So yes, it's obviously autobiographical.
Because I noticed, like on C, you know, everything from the CD cover seems like it was very much like a love album, and then Limón y Sal comes out, and some of the songs I'm listening to, I'm like, it's kind of maybe like a love hangover songs, but you're not giving up on love. Am I kind of hitting the nail on the head with that?
I mean, it's different versions about it, but I think it's mostly love songs. I like writing about love, you know, and the end of it and the beginning of it, and when it's good, when it's bad. I mean, it's what inspires me. C was an experiment for me because I'd never written a happy love song, and I felt like writing about that, and I just went the whole way and just became, made it like into a super happy love record. And because I'd never done it before, so I just went crazy writing songs like that because I felt I was doing something different than what I had done before. I knew perfectly well how to write about melancholy and then feelings of maybe being sad or being doubtful, and I mean I'd written about feelings like that, but I'd never written about being happy and just being sure about something and telling it to somebody. I'd never flirted in my song, so I kind of wanted to see how that would work. I mean that's basically the way that I work when I'm writing. I mean I just kind of want to try different things, and open different doors. So.
You did a great job because I love them.
Yeah,
Okay,
thanks.
with the violence in Tijuana right now between the narcos, the law enforcement, and of course the immigration, do you ever want to write songs dealing with some of those subjects?
It's really hard to write about that. I don't live in Tijuana. I haven't lived in Tijuana for a long time. My family lives there. But as I was saying, when I sit down to write, it's hard for me to write about that. I can have an opinion about it, I can worry about it, I can think about it, but when I sit down to write, it's not what I want to write about.
Your popularity has obviously grown with each release. How do you keep life in perspective, like normal day-to-day life?
Well, that's the most important thing for me. I mean, I want my life to be normal, so it's going to be normal. I mean, I think everybody chooses the way they want to live their lives, and I refuse to change the way that I live. I refuse to change my friends. I refuse to change, I don't think things are that now I have to become a different person, because that's not the way that I think. I think, I like my life, and if I stop getting inspired out of the life that I've always enjoyed, I don't want to, just become somebody else.
Will you ever release a CD in English?
I don't like to say never, but it's not something that I think about. It's not something that interests me. I mean, I like writing songs in the language that I'm used to feeling things in and talking things in the language that my mom speaks to me in. I don't see myself translating songs to English I mean, I'd rather just translate the songs to an American public and say, see, this song is about this and that. Yeah. But I think the best way to know my music is to know it the way that I'm inspired to write it.
With kind of like what's happening with Shakira and some of the other Ricky Martin before her, do the record companies, they kind of pushing you to do that? Do you ever feel that kind of pressure?
I don't think my career and mi trayectoria has anything to do with what Shakira and Ricky Martin are about. I mean, and I think my record company knows that, and they respect
you on
me.
That?
No, they respect they respect the kind of career that I want to make for myself, because since they signed me, they knew I wasn't like, oh, this like perfectly commercial. I mean, what I'm doing is something that's more personal, maybe, and to me, it's important. The respect that my company has for me has been the reason why I signed with them. So. Yeah. It's never been something that we've talked about. It's something that they asked me because they know. I mean, they know that I'm not interested in doing it.
A million of young fans adore you, and especially a lot of female fans. Is there any image you like to portray to them?
I just like to be honest, to just be able to. I mean, I can't think of myself as an image and this is what I want them to think about me. I just, do things that I do the way that I feel them and express myself the way that I feel like expressing myself.
Do you see yourself as a sex symbol now that you're really out there, MTV, the awards? How do you feel when they say Julieta Venegas, sex symbol?
No, I don't feel like a sex symbol. I've always been very shy about my physical self, and I've always felt more identified with nerds than with like this sexy women.
Is there anything else you'd like to devote yourself to besides music? Social causes or maybe other business ventures?
I'm not a good business person, so I would never think about business. And I mean, if I can be of help, for different causes, what would worry me would be education, because I think that. In Mexico especially, education is something that limits people. I mean, not having an education will limit a lot of people. And I think it's something that has Mexico stuck right now, that a lot of people don't have any possibilities because they don't have a complete education. Other than that, I think health is also a really important issue. There's a lot of AIDS, and there's a lot of there's need for more research because it's something that isn't solved yet. And there's also a problem of education with it, because a lot of people don't. I mean, it's unbelievable, but a lot of people really don't know about, the dangers and Catholicism has been something that really stops. They don't let people use condoms. That means the death of millions of people. So that's something like another thing. Women's rights. It's unbelievable that we still talk about women's rights, but women are still discriminated in Latin America, in Mexico. So yes, there's a lot of things that worry me, and that I'd like to be able to participate when I can. So those would be three things that really worry me.
What other artists are you currently listening to right now?
Listening to Flaming Lips. I'm crazy. It's unbelievable that I've never really gotten into them that much, but I've gotten into them lately. Architecture in Helsinki, I'm crazy about them too. They're fun, and I like the way they use instruments. I'm going back to Tom Waits. I'm crazy about Tom Waits. There's a
would you ever think about doing a duet with Tom Waits?
Think about it. I would be crazy about it.
You dream about it?
Yes, of course. I would love to meet him. I want to be Tom Waits. I would like to at least, touch the sole of his feet and everything that he's done, creatively, and, everything that he's about, he's just like so, he would, I don't know, I'm just a big fan, he's someone who won't compromise anything, who's made his own universe, and it's amazing. I can't wait to listen to his new album. It's coming out already. I don't think it's out yet, but it's coming out already, so crazy.
Great. Are you any interest in acting? Getting into Hollywood stuff?
No, I would be curious about it. I wouldn't take it seriously because I'm not a good actress, and I have much respect for good actors because I love cinema, but I'm really more interested in doing something in music. Music for film. I used to do stuff for theater, and I think music for film would be fun. Mm-hmm. But acting just because it would probably be fun to do, but I can't take it seriously. I don't think I'd be a good actress.
Your songs have been used in a lot of movies, like Amores Perros, and I've heard your songs pop up in a lot of different places. Would you ever do an entire soundtrack? You ever thought about, or have you ever done an entire soundtrack?
That's what I mean. The score would be fun, but no, I've never done something like that.
And so what's next for Julieta Venegas after Limón y Sal, the tour, everything's completed? What's next?
I have no idea, and I think it's better not to know. This year we're going to end it by doing shows, and then next year we're going to do, I think we're probably just going to be playing a lot, hopefully, next year. Mm-hmm. And, if everything comes out all right. And here in the States, and we're going to Europe also to do a lot of shows over there, and obviously Mexico.
Your manager told me that your mom and you got some family here. Did you get nervous when you know your mom's out there in the audience?
More happy when I know that she's here, and just happy because even if I mess up, even if everything comes out wrong, my mom's gonna be happy to be here and proud of me. So that that's the good thing about
That's beautiful.
About how
well, I thank you very much, Julieta, for taking your time. I know you have a busy schedule, and wish you continued success. Big fan. We're both big fans.
Oh,
and
thank you.
This is a big pleasure and an honor to be here in your presence. Really appreciate it.
Oh,
very proud. It's Latinos todo.
Thanks.
Here's a song by Julieta Venegas from her CD Limón y Sal. This is Sin Documentos.
Buscando tu sonrisa estaría toda mi vida. Quiero ser la única que te muerda la boca. Quiero saber que la vida contigo no va a terminar. Déjame que te cierre esta noche los ojos y mañana vendré con un cigarro a la cama. Porque no tengo más intenciones que seguir bebiendo de esta copa que no está tan rota. Quiero ser la única que te muerda la boca. Quiero saber que la vida contigo no va a terminar. Porque sí, porque sí. Porque en esta vida no quiero pasar un día entero sin ti. Porque sí, porque sí. Porque mientras espero por ti me muero y no quiero seguir así. pagaré por el tiempo que tuvimos. Porque no queda salida, porque pareces dormido. Porque buscando tu sonrisa estaría toda mi vida. Quiero ser la única que te muerda la boca. Quiero saber que la vida contigo no va a terminar. Porque sí, porque sí. Porque en esta vida no quiero pasar un día entero sin ti. Porque sí, porque sí. Porque mientras espero por ti me muero y no quiero seguir así. Porque no quiero vivir sin ti. Quiero ser la única, la única. Quiero llegar a ti. Quiero ser la única que te muerda la boca. Quiero saber que la vida contigo no va a terminar.
Special thanks to Julieta Venegas for taking time to chill with Mas Magazine and Bakotopia. Also a shout out to her management and Sony Latin BMG for being so accommodating and hospitable during our visit. For more information on Julieta Venegas, visit her official website at julietavenegas.net. Hasta la próxima. Peace.